brought to you by this station and by the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation.
Today on News 6, we'll visit the Etch Sketch Factory. We'll look at a solar-powered radio station. And we'll meet a musically talented couple. Hi, and welcome back to News 6. I'm TJ Siebenauer from Bryan Middle School in Bryan, Ohio. Here with a story about a very popular toy is Jody Miller.
Visit any toy store and you'll see a selection of hundreds, maybe even thousands of toys. But one toy seems to be enjoyed more than others. It's the popular Etch Sketch, and it's made right here in Bryan, Ohio.
Have you ever seen anything that can draw and write with the turn of a knob? The Etch Sketch can. The Ohio Art Company in Bryan, Ohio has been making the Etch Sketch for the last 25 years. They turn out more than 1.5 million Etch Sketches a year. The toy is fairly simple. Turn the left knob and a horizontal line is drawn across the screen. The right knob draws a vertical line.
In this area, the girls are putting on the nylon cord and the cross wires which control the pointer. This is what makes the Etch-a-Sketch operate. We'll now move on to the next area where the aluminum powder and the plastic beads are assembled. In this area, we have the machine that puts in the aluminum powder and the plastic beads. The plastic beads help distribute the aluminum powder on the glass. We'll now move over to the area where the glass is assembled to the unit. In this area, we assemble the gray glue and the glass. Then we put on a Mylar shield on top of the glass so that if the glass gets broken, no child will get cut or injured. Then we put on the red front. It goes down the conveyor belt under pressure until the glue dries.
Video games and fancy toys come and go, but the Etch-a-Sketch is one of those classic toys that will last as long as there are kids.
This week's show is produced by Marlene Smith's 6th grade class from Bryan Middle School in Bryan, Ohio. Bryan is located in Williams County, about 10 miles east of the Indiana border. The town was founded in 1840 and its present population is around 8,800 people. Now here's April Chafee with a very bright story.
Can you name some famous firsts? The Wright brothers were the first to fly an airplane, Neil Armstrong was the first man on the moon, and WQCT, a radio station in Bryan, was the first solar-powered radio station in the world.
That's John Conley with the old school. We're at 12 minutes away from 2 o'clock here at the home of the cult, WQCT in Bryan, Ohio, the world's only solar-powered radio station.
The world's first solar-powered radio station is located in Bryan. WQCT-AM was converted to solar power almost 7 years ago. Back then, the United States was in the middle of an energy crisis, and people were afraid of running out of energy. How was the radio station originally powered?
Originally, the AM station was powered from Toledo Edison, from our utility company. Of course, the FM station still is.
The Massachusetts Institute of Technology chose WQCT to be the station to convert to solar power.
It took MIT engineers about 6 months to complete the construction, to install the panels, and to make the necessary transformation so that our AM transmitter could be solar powered.
Behind the radio station, there are 100 solar panels. Each panel has 30 small cells called photovoltaic cells. Photovoltaic means converting light into energy. When the sun strikes the cells, it generates electricity.
And so this was an experiment done by the Department of Energy. However, MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, was engaged as the agency to conduct the experiment. And we had to do some things also. We had to install the area for the photovoltaic cells. We had to construct a solar building here to house our solar equipment.
Conversion has brought the station a lot of publicity, which gives WQCT a bright, sunny future.
Kids View, a weekly feature in which kids get to say what's on their minds. This week's question is, if you could switch identities with anybody, who would you switch with and why? And it was submitted by Jody Miller. Here's what you had to say.
I'd be Albert Einstein because he made many discoveries that helped people.
I would like to be Nancy Reagan because she lives in the White House.
I would like to become Abraham Lincoln because he abolished slavery.
Well, I'd like to become Ronald Reagan because he makes a lot of money.
I'd like to change roles with Brooke Shields because she's pretty and famous.
I'd like to be Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics, because he earns millions a year.
I'd like to change identities with Christy Brinkley because she's a famous model.
I'd like to become Eleanor Roosevelt because she enjoyed helping people.
Music is an important part of many people's lives. Few are able to master one musical instrument, but John and Fritzie Hartman are able to play many. How many? Together, John and Fritzie can play over 40 instruments.
Not too many people are talented enough to play one musical instrument, let alone over 30 different instruments. But talent runs deep with John and Fritzie Hartman. Both have traveled around the world, playing at jazz festivals and other concerts. The Harmons are now retired, but spend a little time each day practicing their instruments.
That's all for this week's show. We hope to see you next week on News 6.
News 6 is brought to you by this station and by the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation.